I did.
And before we start, I want to put on the record that Miss Early and I were having conversations about being in person or not in person today. And I think their courthouse is being under some emergency construction renovations, and everybody's just sort of here, there, and yon. So we decided that it would be best just to Zoom today. Is that correct, Miss Early?
That is, Judge. We have emergency repairs starting on the courthouse roof. And so we were given 1 week to all get out of our offices, and we are all displaced. And so Kim and I are actually working remotely part of the week and then using a conference room the other part of the week. So yes, so thank you for accommodating.
Okay. No, we were set to come and thought, well, we'll check and let everybody know we're coming. And then Debbie told me that. I'm like, okay, well, that's okay.
It's much better than the bell tower crashing in on you during court.
Yes, and our offices are actually right under the cupola. And so our offices had to be, I say, evacuated more than any other office, especially with furniture and personal belongings. So yeah, it's been a bit of a struggle, but I think we're all out now.
When are y'all supposed to be, when is it supposed to be done?
It starts Monday, but it's going to be in phases. And so they'll open it up and then they'll do the shoring is what they call it, where they put in the braces. And then we don't know how long the actual repairs will take, and we don't know if we'll be able to occupy offices during some of the construction. So it's a wait and see. Right now, I think we're expecting to be out 3 to 4 weeks, but we don't know. We don't know if it could be months. We don't know yet. So
right, and rain depending on the weather and all that.
Right.
We'll check next time we're supposed to be there and
Yes.
see what we need to do. So.
Thank you.
We did that in Lano for about 2 years when they remodeled the courthouse.
Let's hope it's not 2 years for us.
I think it was maybe 3. I don't know. It was a long time. I can't remember.
Wow.
But it's fun. Everybody's close together. We had a good time. So, just court was never fun because we were always we're scrambling. Okay. So, did Randall move?
Yes, ma'am, he did.
Who took him?
Lucia Chavez from my unit and our HST Tiffany, and it's not Schlab, it's a different Tiffany now. They took him on Tuesday. I spoke to Lucia. The transportation went very well. He was very well behaved. He was actually a little bit excited to be going there because he had interviewed with them before he went to.
Did they drive or fly or what?
I believe they flew because I saw they went into Memphis.
Okay.
And Memphis is actually closer to Forest City than Little Rock is.
Where? So this is on the east side of Arkansas?
Yes, ma'am, it is.
Okay. Ms. Cooley, you've been there before?
I have, Judge. We had a previous placement there. Didn't last long, but I was there twice, actually.
Lampasas?
No, San Saba.
San Saba.
Oh, okay. Okay.
It didn't last long. But...
No, okay. I remember that. But I remember you were going up there in Missouri for a Lampasas case also. So I think
no, that was for Blanco case. I went to I know what you're thinking of, Judge. You're thinking of fly into Little Rock and go southeast for a Lampasas case, right?
Yeah.
But no, Forest City was for the San Saba case, and I went up there once, and then the day I was there was an incident that caused the removal or the discharge, and so I went back with a CPS caseworker, and we retrieved the child and brought him back to Texas.
That's right. Well,
but I like the facility.
Yeah, tell me about it.
Well, just very accommodating, nice. I don't know if it's necessarily newer, but they had a great conference room that I could visit with my client in. And the lead counselor, so to speak, I hope she's still there. I contacted her when we thought we might be putting a child there maybe 2-3 months ago, and she was still there. Casey, oh heck, I can't remember. But anyway, she was great and just sat and visited with me for as long as I needed and gave me the rundown. And unfortunately, like I said, it was short lived, but I was real impressed with the place.
Good, good, good. What about like the outside? Is it rural? Is it fenced? Is it look like a dorm? Give
It
me
is
some.
not fenced, if I recall. It's not like the current placement in Florida. It is rural. It's in, yeah, Forest City is a small town, but very woodsy. But you know, nice enough place. I did not get an outdoor tour the way I did in Florida, but you know, I could tell that the place was well run and clean, and you know, everyone was on top of their game. At least while I was there.
How many? Just boys?
I don't know the answer to that, Mr. Bowden. Do you know?
I don't know, but in the back of my head, one of your girls was briefly there as well, out of Llano County.
First name start with a B?
Yes.
Okay.
Okay. There you have it.
Last name start with an R?
I think that's a very big possibility.
Oh, well, yes, yeah, okay. I don't remember that, but that's been a lot of places also.
Yes,
So, big place, little place, medium size, Mr. Cooley, you get to go to a lot of places like this. Compare it size wise and population wise, if you know.
I don't, Judge. I don't know the population.
I mean,
I'm looking it up right now.
of the facility.
I'm sorry.
Right.
Is it a lockdown facility like Missouri was, or is it more open?
No, it was definitely more open.
Okay.
Good.
It might have a fence, but it would not like, no, it was a stark contrast to Missouri, where, you know, I mean, that was certainly, as you describe it, lockdown. But it was almost more like a juvenile detention facility, it appeared to me. But you know, with locking doors to get into the conference room or into the meeting rooms and things, this is not like that at all. Much more relaxed than that.
Okay.
Sort of sounds like Helping Hand in a way.
Not familiar with Helping Hand.
Helping Hand, Mr. Cooley?
I have not, Your Honor.
It's in Austin.
Okay.
And remember where Rooster Andrews used to be on the drag?
Sure do.
Right behind there. Oh,
Okay.
a little bit. I mean, you would never, I mean, I went by it a gazillion times and never even knew. But, you know, it was in Austin versus being out in the country. So,
Sure.
actually, it's probably on, you know, that street that Marymount Cafeteria was on? On that
I do.
street. It's
Okay.
southeast of Guadalupe on that street. 30 something, 8, 30, you know, something like that. So, well, okay.
It is my understanding, Your Honor, he's done very well since being placed there. Yesterday, he was diagnosed with a influenza B variant, and so he is in isolation starting yesterday until whatever the quarantine time is for that.
Probably something he picked up at Terrell.
Or on the airplane.
Yeah.
Your Honor,
Yes.
just doing a little background research. It's a 65 bed, and this says boys only. The adolescent residential treatment program is 65 beds and only boys.
Okay. Is that higher, lower, equal to where Randall's been at other places before?
Lower.
Huh?
Lower.
Lower?
Yes, ma'am. Missouri had over 100 boys and over 100 girls divided up on the different units. Terrell had a rather large number of youth. Really, the smallest place he was at was the GRO he was in Tyler for 5 months.
Right. Okay. What is the report on the list of placements in Texas that can provide the treatment and transportation that the doctor, the neurologist said that I'm here. I don't know why it didn't show me here, but I'm here. I guess his son's doing weird stuff today. The treatment, the neurofeedback, and all that the doctor said Randall would need.
There are no Texas placements, period, that even offered us a bed or gave us a chance to do anything. None of the placements themselves have the equipment for this. And, CPU hasn't called every single one and said, if we find somewhere, can you transport them? That's my understanding. I believe there was an Excel spreadsheet sent out to show all of the contacts they had made in general.
Right. But I think that was just the places that y'all regularly contract with. I don't know if anybody at CPU made any effort to call like Nexus or Marydale. Some of the places that they don't contract with, which, that would require a special contract. I mean, that my email meant that they were supposed to Google who, or maybe Miss Anderson, they can call Miss Anderson, what facilities in Texas provide this sort of treatment that Randall needs, and if we need a special contract. I don't want to go to the same old places that we always go to, because I know it's me, no, we can't do it.
Okay. Just on my own, before I left on vacation, I did try doing research to find youth facilities in Texas and surrounding states that offered this type of therapy, and I myself could not find a single place. And I was just using Google, putting in keywords of youth, RTC, neurofeedback, and I did not have anything that popped up as a place where they were actually residents, and it was a residential place. There are a number of places in the Dallas and Houston areas that are just office buildings that people can go to and have this type of therapy. But I myself was unable to find anything that was residential.
Okay. What do y'all need today, Miss Early?
Judge, I'm unaware of anything additional than what you've already ordered.
Mr. Cooley? Or let's do Costa first. Costa, y'all need anything?
No, ma'am. Not yet.
Mr. Cooley?
No, Your Honor. I'm glad we have a place for him, but it's unfortunate that we can't immediately follow up on the brain mapping, for lack of a better term. But I know that everyone's trying.
Okay. When or do y'all have any plans to go up there? Y'all waiting about a month? What's the plan?
I don't have any yet, but I certainly planned to go. I was in Florida, a couple of weeks ago, so I was going to try to space it out probably mid-September, because I need to go back to Florida in October. So I was trying to do it sort of month to month. But if you tell me to clear my calendar and go next week, I'll go next week.
No. I want him. Well, number one, I want him to get out of quarantine first,
Right.
And let's get him a little bit. I'm gonna set a hearing in a month, or 9/26. So
Okay.
maybe let's see, kind of regroup maybe mid-September, see how he's doing, and then maybe go close to the hearing, or maybe we can wait till October or something, because we're going to obviously be having hearings and meetings on Randall anyway.
Ben Glade with our out-of-state placement unit will be going to see him in September and November, and I'll be going to see him in October and December.
Okay. Julie, who's going to be on the case? Do we have an advocate, or what's up?
No, right now it's just me. I'm seeking an advocate, but this is a tough case to find an advocate for.
What about Mr. Peel?
I don't know. I can try.
He got rid of one of his more issues, not the child, but just the whole situation. We did
Okay.
a doc yesterday, and I think he's been really good on that case. Lano case, you can look up. It was one stayed care yesterday.
Okay.
I don't
If
know.
not, I'll go.
What about, and I don't know if they can travel. What about the Perrys?
They said no.
What about Hornback Brown?
Have not tried that.
Saucedo. Oh, that is Saucedo, right?
Yes. We've been trying to
Mary
find the right fit.
Mary Irwin.
So
Mary has BR.
let's just give her another one.
Well, I mean, I don't know. I kind of like him having a
I think he would get better with a male.
You do? Okay. Mary's tough, though. Yeah, she is.
Yeah, that's true.
I believe that, but all the problems he has with staff in all his different placements are always the females. The men he bonds with, the women he fights with.
What about Grant? Would Grant travel?
He does not want any more cases right now.
Yeah, okay.
Your Honor, I'm no psychologist, but maybe it's lack of a strong, positive female figure in his life that contributes to the problems. I mean, I don't know. It's not as if everything has worked, tremendously in that regard. Maybe the change would be a nice one, but I don't know Randall as well as Mr. Bowden does, but that's just kind of my thought off the top of my head. If we're reaching the point where we're like, gosh, who are we going to appoint?
And until you and I came on the case, Mr. Cooley, all he had his entire life were women, in all of his cases. Mr. Walker, Leo came on. I came on right after Mr. Walker, and then you came on not too far after I did. Before that, all of his attorneys, all of his CASAs were all women.
Okay.
And I think there was 4, maybe 5. And some of our, best. So
what about we have another husband and wife team, Orton's, but I don't know enough about them.
Well, we've reached out. I think we're gonna have to do some schmoozing. I thought Kim was gonna take it back.
Great idea. I got the best idea if he'll do it. Oh my God, I'm having a brain lapse. Dr. Sheehan.
Mm-hmm.
I think he was already asked and declined.
He said this didn't fit in his wheelhouse.
What?
I'm just saying with them. I will send it back and say, how about this?
And tell him that I asked, why he wouldn't do it.
Okay.
I mean, he's a psychologist or something. I don't even know what
He is so fun to work with. I really like him.
And we got that other case resolved so quick that I never would have thought would have been resolved so quick.
Yeah, so I will ask again, see. It might have been that it was right after the other case and he's like, no, I don't want, but I will certainly ask.
Yeah. Because tell him we haven't seen him since then because we haven't had a case like that for him.
Okay.
Okay, well, those are some ideas.
Okay, thank you.
What about Mr. Zen?
all I can do is reach out again to everybody and.
Yeah, and Mr. St. Clair, he's not on our list right now, right?
Right.
Yeah, well, and let's see, didn't Mr. Sinclair have him before 10 maybe?
I don't remember that.
I remember being on a case with Mr. Sinclair. I just don't remember which one it was.
Yeah. Well, he's had a
I remember it was boys, but I don't remember.
Okay, well, let's look into that. So here's our order. Per my 8/20/24 email, CPS report to the court and then lines with a list, including information about residential facilities in Texas that provide the therapy Randall needs per Dr. White. CPS to confer with Superior, Dr. White, and about facilities. Special contract or not. Next hearing is 9/26. Basically compliance with my 8/20 email. But
Yes,
it's, and we need the information by 9/15. Actually, we'll move it back a week. Let's just do it a week before the hearing. Let's do 9/19.
Miss Simpson,
Yeah.
can you help me with all that wording today to make sure I get all the words right?
Just look at the 8/20 email.
Okay.
And we'll get that. Let me see if any supervisor people came. Victoria Martin, Tommy Phelps, Susan Potts, HEALD. They're not going to put their right names in. They're not coming in. Virginia Deputy Clerk, Miss Ortega. So no supervisors.
Well, I'm rather self-sufficient.
Right. Do I need to say anything? No, I wrote an email yesterday. Do I need to say anything else?
I am not advised what the court should or should not do.
Okay. Well, I had a lot of people on the show yesterday, so I went all over it. So, okay.
Yes, ma'am.
And
Hey,
I would be, Go
Can I
on,
just a question real fast?
yes.
The last time when we met, we talked about getting the parents into therapy, and I got an email back from Ashley saying that was approved. Do we know, did they respond? Did y'all reach out to them?
I did not know that it was approved, and I've been on vacation for the last week.
Okay.
So I don't know. I'll be back in the office on Tuesday.
Okay. I was just wondering as far as moving forward with meetings, just trying to stay on top of that.
Yes, ma'am.
What do you, Ms. Cooley, Ms. Gilson, Ms. Early, what do y'all think about that?
Judge, maybe I'm new enough on the case, being only a couple of years, that I say leave no stone unturned. If there is some possibility of a positive influence in Randall's life from his biological parents, I say we explore every opportunity. Was that what you were asking generally?
Yeah, generally. I don't really, it's damn if you do, damn if you don't. I really don't know what my opinion on it is. I mean, I think what I'm thinking would be interesting, let's reach out to them and see if they would even consider therapy. And if they don't, that tells me a whole lot.
Judge, I agree with you on that. And then my other thought is that Randall may want to have a relationship with them or try to find them after we're out of the case. And so I don't see therapy as a bad thing, because, I mean, maybe there's some assistance we can provide, but I do think it would be a good test to see what level of involvement they may even want, whether it's, in the near future or far away.
Right. I mean, looking at the pictures that Brandy sent, I mean, that was a nice place. I mean, I know they don't own the land, and then do they really own that trailer or that house? I mean, who knows? That was kind of goofy. But I mean, what a great place for him to live and, hang out. I mean, it just ride your bike around that little community center. I mean, I'm probably go to Pflugerville. I mean, go to a good school that has lots of special ed stuff. I mean, yeah. Okay, well, reach out. Let me add that to the order. But remember, what we talk about Randall is minimal, if even that.
Nothing.
And
So
I've done all my reaching out to them that I'm gonna do until after a therapist starts making recommendations to Mance. That's what I'm reporting to state office is we're looking at starting therapy for the parents if they agree.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, CPS to contact parents about therapy with report by next hearing. I mean,
Yes.
you know, I don't think anybody works. You know, we're gonna pay for it. So, I mean, duh, you know, so that'll be real telling. And I would rather it be in person. I don't want to do Zoom with them. So let's see their real commitment to do in-person therapy.
In-person therapy.
Anybody can do Zoom therapy.
Yes, ma'am.
And Randall, if like Ms. Early said, Randall is not a child that people need to be taught on Zoom about, or telehealth, or sorry, Miss Anderson, but whatever, you know. Ugh. So, okay. Anybody need anything else? Oh,
No.
Julie, what's your opinion about reaching out to the parents for that?
Well, I'm in agreement.
Okay.
Your Honor,
Positive, but that's okay. That's all right. Okay, well, let's try, and I'll see y'all in a month.
Your Honor, let me just interject that Ms. McGee, Kelsey McGee, she is still at the facility, the lady that I worked with in the past, and Randall is on her caseload, so that's good.
Yay, perfect. Wonderful. Good news. Okay, well, y'all might want to give her a little, I mean, I'm sure she has everything, but y'all might want to call her and give her some more scoop, so.
Right.
Okie doke.
Okay.
And you know, did the Forest City place, did they say they don't do the neurofeedback?
They don't have the equipment to do it, ma'am, and they said they would not transport.
They wouldn't. Okay.
In fact, when we tried to put that into the contract, they canceled their offer, and so we had to pull it out of the contract.
Okay. Thanks.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you.
Keep us posted via email if something happens. So, okay. Thank y'all.
Thank you.
Your Honor, may I be excused? This is my only case.
See you later. Thank y'all.
Thank you, ma'am.
Hey, Mr. Cooley,
Yes.
our Sensaba case. Yeah, get.
Oh, I thought you were going to say, hey, what time's your tailgate?
That too. I forgot.
Yeah.
No, we're not going.
Oh, okay.
I do not want Sensaba to move. I think
Okay.
he's finished out the program. And, I mean, you know, of course, we'll defer to the other court, but, you know, he made his bed.
Right. Hey, I'm 100% agreement, and I'm sure that the district court judge would agree as well, that enough of this bouncing around.
Right. I mean, we've lived longer than any of those people have, you know, so,
Right.
and, you know, but I really, you know what, the whole time I was talking to him, you know what I was thinking, and this is so cruddy, but it's one of my favorite movies, Liver. I don't know if you're probably too young. Miss Gilson, you remember, Miss Potts, remember that movie, Oliver? It won a bunch of Academy Awards. And they had to play, the kids had to play about it, Susan, at the community theater last summer.
Right.
Loved it. I mean, it's about an orphanage, you know, and back in the old days and how they treated those kids, you know, and it's horrible. And that's what, when he was talking to me, that's all I kept thinking, you know, give the 15-year-old boy food, feed him. You know, if you don't feed me, I'm going to be angry. I'm going to be horrible, you know,
Right.
I'm going to be the biggest, you know what, in the world. And I'm not a 15-year-old boy, especially with mental health problems and behavioral problems.
Your Honor, real quickly, have you been apprised of the response from the facility to your order?
No.
Okay, I'm going to forward it to you right now.
Oh my, am I going to be mad?
I mean, yeah. No, I don't know, but that just like I can paraphrase it. That that would be going against doctor's orders, and if you're going to ask us to go against doctor's orders, we want him removed, discharged.
Do we have it in writing about what the doctor said? I mean, you think he's obese? Do you think that?
Well, I'm sure that according to some guideline, he might be, but certainly not. No, he looks great.
Well,
But
he looked great. I mean, I just saw, like, hair up, but
yeah, no,
I've never known him to be that way.
right.
You know
I
what?
agree.
And if he is, it's because he's sitting around eating a bunch of crap carbs that they're not having a good diet for those boys and not enough exercise. So it's their fault.
Right.
Feeding them,
Well, I'll forward you that, and we can discuss further.
yeah. So okay, thanks.
Thank
Sorry,
you, Your Honor.
I was on a tear.
I hear you.
I
Bye.
just hated that case. Bye.
Yeah.
Testify, please raise your hand. Do you swear or affirm the testimony you're about to give be the truth? Ms. Ortega, raise your hand. Do you swear or affirm the testimony you're about to give be the truth, the whole truth, nothing but the truth, so help you God? Ms. Ortega, raise your hand. Did you swear? Okay. This case is Emily. She's the child. She is represented by Miss Jennifer Harris, attorney ad litem, and CASA is Miss Julie Gilson. The department is here represented by Miss Victoria Martin, and her supervisor is Miss Teresa Donnell, and their lawyer is Miss Kim Ashby. The mom is Miss Anna Maria Ortega. She's here, and her attorney is Mr. Tommy Phelps, who's here. The unknown father is not here, but he is represented by Miss Susan Potts. I think that covers everybody. So you may begin, Miss Ashby.
Judge, so we did have a mediation and came to an agreement as to mom. She has agreed to be terminated under 161.001BO, that she failed to complete her service plan. The unknown father still has not been found. We are going to terminate him under 161.002B2. I'd ask the court to take judicial notice of the file, particularly the service of the father, the due diligence search for the father. And then I would call Victoria Martin.
I'll take judicial notice of the file and everything filed in this case. What type of search do we do in this case, Miss Ashby?
We did a publication because nobody could find the unknown father, nor did anybody know his name.
Okay, and the since I'm not actually with the actual file itself, did the newspaper publisher submit the publisher's affidavit?
Yes, they did.
Okay, thank you.
I think it was filed on June 17th.
Okay, thank you. Okay, you can continue, please.
Miss Martin, have you had a chance to talk to Miss Anna Marie Ortega?
A little bit.
And have you asked her if she knew the identity of the father?
Yes, ma'am. We've talked about that.
Did she know the identity?
No, ma'am, she does not.
And did she tell you she had one conversation with the father to inform him of the pregnancy?
She did say that she spoke to the father after she found out she was pregnant and that he didn't want to have anything to do with her or the child.
And has the department done a due diligence search for the father?
Yes, ma'am.
And have you been able to find him?
No, ma'am.
And did you search the paternity registry?
Yes, ma'am.
And did the father register?
No, ma'am.
And do you think it's in the best interest of the child that the father be terminated?
Yes, ma'am.
Did you have a family group conference with Anna Marie Ortega?
Yes, ma'am, we did.
And from the family group conference, did you come up with a service plan?
Yes, ma'am.
And did Miss Ortega agree to the service plan?
She did agree.
And has she followed that service plan?
No, ma'am.
Has Miss Ortega visited with the child?
I believe it was 4 video visits. It might have been 5 now.
Okay, and
But
has
that's
she-
it. Nothing other than that.
Okay, and that's over a 1-year period of time?
Yes, ma'am.
And is the child over 1 year was the child over 1 year of age at the time the petition was filed?
Yes, ma'am.
And do you agree it's in the child's best interest to terminate Miss Ortega's rights?
Yes, ma'am.
And does the foster parent want to adopt the child?
Yes, ma'am.
And have you had a chance to visit with the child and the foster mom?
Yes, ma'am. I was there Monday.
And does the child seem to be bonded with the foster mom?
Yes, ma'am. Definitely.
And do you think it's in the child's best interest that Miss Ortega's rights be terminated and that the foster mom be allowed to adopt her?
Yes, ma'am.
Judge, that's all I have for this witness.
Okay, thank you, Ms. Ashby.
Thank you.
Excuse me, anybody have any questions, Ms. Martin?
Yes, Your Honor, I do.
Ms. Potts?
So, Ms. Martin, I contacted you regarding the unknown father. Is that correct?
Yes, ma'am.
And you relayed to me the same facts that you just relayed to Miss Ashby. Is that correct?
Yeah.
And then I indicated to you that I also spoke with Miss Ortega, and she confirmed that she did not have a name of the father. Is that correct?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, thank you. No further questions.
Okay, thank you. Anybody else?
Yes, Judge.
Okay.
Ma'am, what was Miss
Ms. Harris.
Ortega asked to complete in her
Ms.
service?
Harris, one
Oh,
second.
sorry, Judge.
Mr. Phelps, you have questions?
Yes, ma'am. Ms.
Okay,
Brinkley.
go on, please.
Ms. Martin, as a part of the agreement for the termination, it was agreed that the foster mom, soon to be adopted mom, would try to maintain and foster a relationship between the mother and the child.
Yes, sir.
And you believe that's in the best interest of the child?
Yes, sir, I do.
I have nothing further, Your Honor.
Okay, thank you. Ms. Harris?
Sorry, Judge, my hat was playing with the toys and I thought you guys would hear it. What were the exact things that were asked of Miss Ortega in her service plan?
In the service plan,
Sorry. Can you repeat that question?
What exactly was Miss Ortega asked to complete in her service plan?
she was asked to complete protective parenting, nurturing parenting, a BIPP, a BIP. She was asked to maintain employment and maintain a safe and clean home. She was asked to seek therapy for with the domestic violence and trauma. Leaning to domestic violence and trauma to help her through those.
And did she complete any of those?
She completed the protective parenting.
The rest of them were not completed?
No, ma'am.
Were you ever able to go and visit her home?
Not in Florida, no.
So are you aware of whether she can provide a safe, stable, drug and violence-free home for her child?
I'm not aware whether she can or not.
Do you feel like the department has given her every opportunity to be able to complete that service plan?
Yes, ma'am.
And do you believe that there's any physical or mental deficiencies that would prevent her from being able to complete the service plan?
No, ma'am.
And is the current placement a safe, stable, drug and violence-free environment?
Yes, ma'am.
And why specifically do you think that it is in Emily's best interest for Ms. Ortega's rights to be terminated?
I feel that it is in the best interest of Emily for her rights to be terminated.
Why specifically?
Oh, I'm sorry. As Miss Ortega has had a year to complete her services, She has failed to complete the services. She has failed to consistently see a therapist and notify the department when she stopped seeing her therapist in November. She also told the department that she was living alone in Florida when she was actually living in the home of Lillian Flores, which is the mother of her former paramour, who was in the domestic violence incident that started all this.
And do you think that it would be in Emily's best interest to be living in that kind of environment?
I do not think it would be very in her best interest now.
Does Emily have a relationship with her mother?
Emily does not have a solid relationship with her mother. On the visits, it's Emily has little attention for the visits. I don't think that there's a good relationship there.
And who is meeting her daily needs?
Miss Will Pritchett, her foster
So
mom.
when Emily is hungry or sad or upset or happy, who does she look to?
She goes straight to Miss Will Pritchett.
And has the foster mother indicated that she's willing to support an ongoing relationship between Emily and her biological family?
Yes, ma'am.
No further questions, Judge.
Okay, thank you, Ms. Harris. Anybody else have any questions?
Judge, I do have a follow-up question.
Okay, thank you.
Miss Martin, do you know who Anne Marie Ortega is living with in Florida?
She is admitted that she's living with Lillian Flores, who is, again, the mother of her former paramour.
And do you know if anyone else is living in that residence?
We do not know for sure if anybody else is living in that residence. However, on the finder's report, it was shown that Giselle Flores, who is the former paramour, does have the same address as Miss Ortega.
And she's the one who Miss Ortega originally got in the fight with when this whole CPS case started?
Yes, ma'am.
And do you know when Giselle moved to Florida?
I don't know exactly when she moved to Florida. I do know that Miss Flores and Miss Ortega have the same issuing date on their driver's license. They went to the DMV at the same time, same date.
And were most of the services that she was required to complete related to the domestic violence incident?
There were services related to the domestic violence incident in there, the domestic violence therapy that she was supposed to attend with the trauma therapy.
And was that important for you that she complete those in order to get the child back?
Yes, ma'am.
That's all I have, Your Honor.
Okay, thank you. Anybody else? Excuse me, anybody else? Doesn't really have anything to do with this because y'all have a immediate settlement agreement, Ms. Martin, but what's the status of the cases the mom has with the other children that were originally in Hidalgo County, that guy's in the big mess, you know? Well, what's going on in those cases?
The department down there had asked for an extension. I believe it's until October. And they want to place the 4 children with Miss Ortega. So they have paid for a bus ticket for Miss Ortega to go to South Texas for bonding time with the 4 children. And I believe that the supervisor herself was going to do the home inspection in Florida. She was flying to Florida to do the home inspection. I'm not sure if that's been done though.
Did Miss Ortega go and meet with those other children?
She has, yes, ma'am.
Okay. 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 And I read in the MSA that, you know, this is not going to be used in the health case. Nothing. That's just separate for just this case. So, okay, good. Okay. Next witness, Miss Ashby. You're muted, Miss Ashby.
The next witness would be Susan Potts.
Okay.
Ms. Potts.
Go on.
You submitted a affidavit of due diligence search yesterday, is that correct?
Yes, that's correct.
And in addition to that, do you have anything else to add to your efforts to locate the father?
I contacted the parties in the case. I contacted the caseworker, and I also spoke with Miss Ortega, and no one had a name at all that they could provide to me of the unknown father. And I reviewed the due diligence of the department as well.
That's all I have, Your Honor.
Okay, anybody have any questions on Ms. Potts? Ms. Potts, I can't remember if Ms. Ashby said, but was the paternity registry check filed?
Yes.
Okay. Okay, thank you. Okay. Next witness, Ms. Ashby.
The next witness I would call is Casa, Ms.
Okay.
Gilson.
Okay,
Yes.
Ms. Gil. Okay, you may begin, Ms. Ashby.
Ms. Gilson, have you had the opportunity to visit with the child and the foster parent?
Yes,
And do they seem to have a good relationship?
they have a lovely relationship.
And does the child look at her foster mom as her mother?
Yes,
And do you think the foster mom provides a safe environment for the child?
yes, ma'am.
And is it your understanding the foster mom intends to adopt the child?
Yes,
And are you aware whether the foster mom and Miss Ortega have a relationship as far as Miss Ortega or, excuse me, foster mom allowing Miss Ortega to have visits with the child?
I've not seen any problems with that. She seems to be fine with Miss Ortega communicating when she does communicate.
Is it your understanding that she wants to continue a relationship between her biological family and the foster child, or Anna Marie or Emily, I'm sorry.
Yes, at this time, I mean, the child's only, 4 or 5 years old, so as time goes on, things may change, but that is the intent at present.
And do you think it's in the best interest of the child then to terminate the rights of the mother and father?
Yes.
That's all I have, Your Honor.
Anybody have any questions, Ms. Gilson? Ms. Harris, do you?
No, Judge.
Okay. Okay, thank you, Ms. Gilson. Ms. Ashby, next witness.
Your Honor, I have no further witnesses.
Okay, thank you. Mr. Phelps, any witnesses?
No,
No? You're muted.
no, Your Honor.
Okay,
I'm
thank you.
bouncing back and forth here. I can't tell which way I went.
Okay, thank you. Ms. Potts, any witnesses?
No witnesses, Your Honor.
Okay. Ms. Gilson, anything else you'd like to add that you weren't questioned about?
No, ma'am. No.
No, okay. Ms. Harris, what do you think about all this?
I think this is the best thing for Emily. I truly appreciate Miss Ortega making this tough decision. I know she's thinking about the overall well-being of her family, and I wish her absolute luck in her other case. I hope she's successful. I hope that she will maintain regular contact with Emily and let Emily get to know the rest of her family. Foster mom is going to take great care of her, and foster mom is going to help her know about her family and her background if Miss Ortega is open to that. And I think that's the best thing we can ask for any of our kids in these cases.
Okay. Okay, thank you, Ms. Harris. Okay, anybody have anything else they'd like to add? Ms. Ortega, I want to second what Ms. Harris said. Thank you for thinking about Emily and not yourself. I wish we had more parents that were as generous and as thoughtful as you've been in this case. you know, being in a different state, everything, it's a weird situation, but it sure sounds like from what everybody said today, our hearing reports that Emily's in a good spot, and it's great that she's, y'all, you know, that y'all are going to be able to continue to communicate. Not all our cases are like that. So that's really a good sign. So, first I want to say, somebody's got some background noise, but I think it's gone now. First, for the record, I want to put on the record that we were here on 7/25/24 and set for final trial that day. And we recessed until today because of the dismissal date, to allow y'all to go to mediation. So today is actually just a recess of a prior setting. So I'm going to find by clear and convincing, I'm going to approve the mediated settlement agreement number 1 as to Ms. Ortega. And then I'm going to find by clear and convincing evidence that termination of Ms. Ortega's rights as to Emily is in Emily's best interest, based under Texas Family Code Section 161.001B10 grounds only. And that's the ground that has been approved in the mediated settlement agreement. I'm going to find that the unknown father's parental rights, if any do exist, are terminated under chapters 160 and 161, also of the Texas Family Code. I'm going to name the department as Emily's permanent managing conservator. Mr. Phelps, Ms. Potts, thank y'all for your representation in this case. We appreciate y'all. Y'all are released from further representation. Ms. Harris and Casa in the department stay on. And our first perm after hearing will be 10/24. Okay. Anybody need anything else? Okay, well, good luck. Good luck, Ms. Ortega. You're going to be busy, girl, with getting those other kiddos back and riding with them on a bus and getting our, however y'all are going to get back to Florida. And anyway, wish everybody have a good day. We'll be in recess. Thank you.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Thanks, Judge.